ومريم ابنة عمران التي أحصنت فرجها فنفخنا فيه من روحنا وصدقت بكلمات ربها وكتبه وكانت من القانتين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Dear viewers, you are welcome to today's edition of the Virtual Society. My name is Habiba Ibrahim, and today we are going to be discussing about nudity and its threat to modesty. You know, we are lucky to find ourselves in a society with cultural restrictions. We don't find ourselves seeing people just walking around nakedly, not wearing anything. So what exactly do we mean by nudity? What exactly do we mean by modesty? This and many more we are going to be discussing on this show today. Join us, sit back and relax. We'll take it after this break.
وَلْتَكُنْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. ولا تكونوا كالذين تفرقوا واختلفوا من بعد ما جاءهم البينات وأولئك لهم عذاب عظيم.
Welcome back. To do justice to this topic of ours, which is nudity, a threat to modesty, is my dear sister Hajia. She is Hajia Mutiat Olushesi. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, I'm happy we have you here today.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ma, two terms are operative in this topic of ours. You know, we have nudity. What exactly do we mean by nudity? And we have modesty. Please, would you explain to us what do you mean by nudity, and also what do you mean by modesty?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I know that even if a 10-year-old is called upon to answer this question, give its own layman answer. You know, say nudity is being naked, isn't it? And modesty is shying away from being naked. Simple. But when we look at it, we know that nudity is, just as we've said earlier on, is out of being nude, out of being naked, not putting on clothes, or dressing in such a way that it attracts men. You dress in such a provocative way that it arouses the instincts, the sexual instincts of men. That is nudity. We can also call nudity as a lack of shame. You know, just as the Prophet ﷺ has said that if you don't have shame, if you are not shy, do whatever you like. So that is nudity. And it's not only in our dressing, it's also it has to do with also our conduct, the way we conduct ourselves, our speech. You know, some people are very fond of speaking in a very foul, making use of foul languages. The way you talk has to arouse the opposite sex. It's also part of nudity. May not only be limited to your dress or your dress code. Then we now look at modesty on the other hand. Modesty has a relationship with what we call morality. So it has to do with, we said nudity is lack of shame, lack of shyness, and definitely modesty will be to be shy, to have shame, or to shrink one's soul away from foul conduct. It may also be in speech and also in dress code.
Okay. What significance then do you think nudity is? What significance is it to be modest? If you say I'm not nude, then you mean I have to be modest. modest in everything I do. What do you think is the significance of this?
You know, far back, well, we say go away those days when we look at those people who were modest as, yes, these are my role models. But now, if you ask a 10-year-old who is your model, he will tell you, give you a name of one nude man or one nude woman. But not knowing that these people, they belong to what I refer to as a modern Stone Age. You know, the Stone Age then, when they were not putting on clothes, I didn't mean that they knew about clothes. They would have been clad in clothes. But people have now gone back to that the Stone Age. The Stone Age that was even far better than this modern age. And this, when we talk about modesty, you know, it has so many importance or significance, as you've said it. When you are modest, we said that, you know, this modesty has to do, is a thing of the soul. It comes from your soul, from your mind, from your heart. So it has to do with the way you relate with people and the way you relate with your God. The way you relate with people, that is your outward. Then with your God, that is inward. When you're not with anybody, it's between you and Allah. Then one of the significance, the significance of modesty is, one, just as I've said, it brings about shyness. It makes you to be shy, you know. The modesty is what we call al-haya. So it makes you to be shy in your speech. You don't utter vulgar languages. You don't deal with the opposite sex anyhow. You don't dress anyhow. So that is one of the importance of modesty. So also, one of the importance of modesty is that it makes you to be respected. You're respected among your peer groups.
But on this point you've just made, you know, some people, when they dress up, you know, get themselves covered up, wear the hijab, and, you know, when they get themselves covered up, different from their counterparts, they feel inferior. Some people feel inferior. Some people feel people will look down on them, people wouldn't attend to them the way they are supposed to be attended to. In fact, some people feel that they live a life that is not worth living just because.
Yes, just like my classmates will tell me when I was in school back then, he would say, Ajia, you belong to another world entirely. So they feel you are an outcast. But to you really need to understand what you're doing, because the effects of nudity will always bounce back on one who doesn't know what she's doing. Because you may feel, why not just join the row?
Exactly.
And I'm still at least I'm still young. Then when I grow old, I can as well be covered up.
It's just what it is.
So you don't. That's why we said this modesty comes from the earth. It comes from the earth. It is not the one what you just bring out, just like that. And you know, when we've been hearing of this occultism here and there, ask from those who are covered up, how many of them have been attacked? You know, those devilish people will always be afraid of you. They don't know. Even once you are covered up, it's not only you that you are going. You are being protected by Allah and His angels, both at the right, at the left, in front of you, and at your back.
Interesting.
So you know, and also this being modest. You know, I told you the other time that it makes people respect you, and the evil one will be afraid of you. Just as I've said, those that are devilish will always be afraid of you, and it makes you very close to Allah.
Alright, thank you. But what is your take on this? People believe that we are in the 21st century, and believe it or not, you know, this 21st century, a lot of things are going on. So they believe I have the right to dress as I wish. Nobody can tell me to dress this way. Nobody can tell me to dress that way. What is your take on that?
That is, I would say that is the effects of what we call this nudity. The effects of the nudity on individual. You know, as I said earlier on, we looked at the era of the stone age then, and also let's look at the time of the pre-Islamic era, when the Muslims used to circumambulate the Kaaba with nudity, thinking that they were doing the right thing before the coming of Islam. They will go around the Kaaba in complete nudity. And you know, there are so many places of worship like that. They will say, before you come here, there was a time, wasn't it last year, I read in the newspaper, there was a supermarket in America. You have to enter this supermarket naked, and you take anything you so desire without paying a penny.
Wow.
So that was in vogue. So, and so many people see you as being dressing in an archaic way, as belonging to the Stone Age, not knowing that the reverse is the case, because a nude person is no different from an animal, isn't it? Because animals don't need dress. That is why Allah has made them in different colors. He has already designed them. They don't need to clothe themselves anyway. But we human beings, you can see if you are not clothed, there are so many people that will look so ugly without dress. And people still go ahead being exposed or exposing themselves for any reason, for so many reasons according to them. Some may feel it's as a result of the fact that this is what is in vogue. Some may be as a result of trying to woo the other side, the opposite sex. We're trying to woo that person, or some will just say, I'm the owner of my life. Let me just, I can. Some will go to the extent of picturing or cameraing themselves stark naked, just leaving the nipple. Some will tell you every part of their body could be as well exposed except the nipple. So what's the essence? You could as well reveal that too. You know,
this is what they learn from the internet, because there are a lot of pictures like that.
Those are the courses.
And they get it for free.
Yes, those are the courses. The internet, the movies, at all.
Before you go ahead on your point, what do you think about our men? You know, you find men that put on earrings. You see men that plait their hair, men that sag. You know, would you say this is, whoever does this is not being modest? Of course, the man is not naked. You can't say he's nude. So would you say this person is not being modest? Just putting on earrings. Some people don't see anything wrong with it. Just a thought. And plaiting my hair. You know, as a man.
You know, our mentality, African mentality, the way we think, is whatever an Igbo man does, that's the latest. If an Igbo man decides to run into a pit, we quickly join him. So those people that put on, you know, the other time I told you that being modest is not only limited to your code of your dress code.
Yes,
it comes from within. So those people and it's not only limited to female alone. So those people that are, although dressed, they are naked.
Really?
Yes. You see so many men too. They put on so transparent. Even some will be putting on jalabia. It reveals everything in them. And you know the extent of the limitations the men too have. And as regards them putting on earring, plating, it's one of the signs of the last hour. You know, the Prophet has said it. And imagine those people sagging. And we all know those people who sag anyway. So, you know, those people who sag.
Thank you, Ajia. If you are just joining us, this is another edition of the Virtual Society. We are going to take a little break. We'll be right back.
Allahumma anta salam.
Alhamdulillah. Ayédáadé wàyí, ìrọ̀rùn ti dé láti rówó dókòwò ṣòwò lọ́nà halal. albaraka. Albaraka Microfinance Bank, báǹkì tó gbàwé gbòǹtẹ̀ ìjọba láti máa ṣiṣẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí báǹkì alábọ́dé, èyí tí kì í gba owó èlé lórí owó tán bá yá àwọn oníbàárà wọn. Albaraka Microfinance Bank tó ń ṣètò bántánṣe máratuni tí mú àlẹ́ ni wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Bí ẹ̀dáwó díẹ̀díẹ̀ láti lọ ṣiṣẹ́ ájì àbí umura, láti san owó iléèwé ọmọ, ẹ̀dáwó láti jẹ́ kí okòwò ẹni gbèrú sí lọ́jọ́ iwájú, láti kọ́ mọ́ṣáláṣí, ẹ̀dáwó fọ́dún léyà ohun ìtùnú àwẹ̀, àbí ẹ̀dáwó láti fi sọrí nǹkan kan pàtàkì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n tún ṣètò àjọ ojoojúmọ́. Òótọ́ ọnú àtiwọ́ ọmọlúàbí níléeṣẹ́ Albaraka Microfinance Bank fi ń ṣiṣẹ́. Number 67 Ladipo Street lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Ladipo Police Station Mushin níléeṣẹ́ Albaraka Microfinance Bank wà. Telephone 08033814982. Albaraka Microfinance Bank, báńkì wa, iyì wa.
وقرن في بيوتكن ولا تبرجن تبرج الجاهلية الأولى وأقمنا الصلاة وآتينا الزكاة وأطعنا الله ورسوله إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا واذكرن ما يتلى في بيوتكن من آيات الله والحكمة إن الله كان لطيفا خبيرا.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Welcome back. We are treating the topic nudity, a threat to morality. Hajia, please, would you tell us what the causes of nudity are? What are the things that make people decide to just unclad themselves, if I may put it that way? What do you think are the causes?
Alhamdulillah, just, before we went on break, I was mentioning some of these causes, and you two said something like that all this internet, the movies, the music.
Let's focus on the internet.
The internet, starting from
it's a major cause.
Yes.
Today, even a 3-year-old can press the phone.
Yes.
And once you can press the phone,
even at times you will even be working on the internet and you just see it without even you asking for it. So people will just decide to reveal themselves to you, and even some, I don't really want to use this word. Some people, I don't know, they'll just wake up. There was a day I opened my Facebook and what I saw was a man stark naked. He said he just woke up in the morning and he felt like, why not? And he did stark naked. I was looking for a way of deleting it. What rubbish is this? I don't have any link with this man. So that is what makes people just go crazy. Because I call that being crazy. How will you just wake up in the morning and you feel like being nude?
And you post it on internet.
Yes.
Where the whole world
there is no shyness, no shame again. That is what the Prophet has said. If you don't have shame, do whatever you like. So that is what people are doing. And also the movie we watch these days. Gone were those days that we'll be watching movie and even a 3-year-old can see with you. But even the one they will tell you is only 13 or 16 years, you will watch it and why? You just be like, I can't just imagine how our artists, how they feel on the same bed with a man that you're not married to, doing all sorts of rubbish, and your children are at home watching you. Most of them have children at home, and they will, that's my mommy with another man. I say, you're just acting. Then also besides that, the peer group too, the peering friends. If a child comes out from a Muslim home that really knows the importance of being modest or dressing in a modest way, he comes around, mingles with friends, she will start by reducing the length of the hijab. Say, this one is too much now. I could remember back in those days too, when we were in school, when my friends would say, why now? Why are you the one that kill prophet? Why is your own too much like this? So, you know, you two will just sit one day. I don't want people to molest me. I don't want people to make jest of me. Let me wear too much or hair, something like that. So, after that, you reduce your hijab. After that, you remove the hijab. After that, what next? You moderate your gown, changing it to skirts. After that, you remove the scarf. And after that, what happens? That's the bare inference. Because you don't want to be, you don't want to be seen as not belonging. As not belonging. They will tell you that is what is trending. Yes. I'll use your word. Is that not what you use? You say, do you know what is trending now? This is what is trending. And such a girl will say, okay, don't worry. When I grow old, I will do like my mother is doing now. Who tells you that you will even live till tomorrow? So that is what we should always do. Then also, the kind of music our children listen to. Even the women too, we female, even the men, everybody. Such that it has really affected our ibadah. At times you will be praying and you will be singing. All those songs that are not supposed to be on air.
The songs they sing now are they
with no meaning. I was in a studio the other time. I was telling this girl, she was saying, you know it has beats. What is the beat? Beat with no meaning. What lesson have you learned from that song now?
In fact, there was a song I heard some days ago where they were saying she wants to do, she not today.
Can you imagine? Yes. Can you imagine? Yes. When I heard it, I said, you're even making saying Shina.
Arabic word.
Hey, you even saying Shina. So there are some songs that will be describing everything, all the concealed private parts of a woman. And that's a song. And nothing has been done. Nobody is saying anything. People are dancing to it. So I don't know. That is the situation we found ourselves in.
Thank you.
This time around.
What do you think, how is nudity a threat to modesty? Of course, you've told us it is not good to, clad ourselves just so that we would not provoke the sexual appeal of the men.
Yes.
But how does nudity, me dressing, okay, fine, I dress in a way that my skin is exposed, but that is the way I want to dress.
Because I want to reveal the work of God.
How do you think it?
I want people to know that I'm beautiful.
Of course.
So
people have to know that I'm beautiful.
Yeah, people keep saying,
in what way does it pose a threat to my modesty? How does it mean that I'm not modest?
If some people will, let me quickly join you what you just said. Some people will say, the Prophet has said that taqwa, that's your piety is within you. Is it not what is in you that will be manifested in your action, or your behavior, or your dress code? Isn't it? So this the question you've asked is how nudity as
a threat.
How is it a threat to modesty?
Why should nudity affect my modesty? How does it affect it?
Your modesty. When you are glad, it's not you. If one is now uncladded, it has so many effects on the modesty of a man or of a woman. Now let's quickly go to the premarital aspect and the marital life too. Men, the way we react to sexual urge is quite different from that of men. So men, I can't even say, I don't even need to say some men. Most men, what really arouses their instincts, the sexual instincts, is just to see you naked. And that is just it. And it brings about premarital sex, isn't it? Then also, it can also cause extramarital sex too. There was a time, just someone told me of recent. In fact, when she was narrating the story to me, I felt, wow, is it a movie or is it real? She said, person narrated the story to her that this man is a very lousy type, that she doesn't even like talking to him. That this man just came around one day like that and was narrating his experience with his friend. He was saying, you know what happened today? There was one girl in my house. That girl's so beautiful, and I've been eyeing her. I've told her that I want to date her. She said, you, not knowing that this girl was dating a married man in the same house. And this man never knew, the husband, the woman, that's the wife to the man, never knew that there was anything of such.
Of course, cases of that type are banned.
In fact, to cut the story short, they said this woman just came out of her office and she saw that, where's my husband? When she got in, she was knocking, and this man was having a extramarital affair with this woman, with this lady.
Before time runs out, let's quickly take the way out. What are the way out of this? What do you think we can do to provide solutions to this?
The major way out, the number one way out, is for us to retrace our step to Allah. Let's go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because even Allah has said it, that if you find anything that you are not capable of reminding, just come back to me and the Prophet sallallahu. So we retrace our step to Allah. Let's listen to what Allah wants us, the way Allah wants us to dress, so that we will be protected and guided.
آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر